United States representation here urging people to leave while there are still commercial flights available. So there is a real fear that the airport could be deemed unusable if something does start here, with many diplomatic missions also discussing possible evacuation routes by boat, which is what happened in 2006. So this is the type of conversations that people here are talking. Shall I leave? Well, even though my embassy has told me to leave, I think I'm going to stay put until there is an evacuation order, in calls from protests on Friday, but it wasn't as big as we saw.
Host of the Rubin Report, best-selling author Dave Rubin, to discuss what we're seeing, the breaking news of the day, and also some things we're seeing along colleges across our nation. Dave, always a pleasure to have you. But first, just your reaction. Breaking news right now, the IDF confirming 2 American hostages have been released. We're learning it's an American mother and a daughter released from captivity in Gaza. Obviously, welcome news here. And we are looking for a glimmer of hope in this devastating war here in Israel.
Hopefully this is just the beginning. I mean, apparently we've just released $100 million to what Joe Biden said were the authorities in Gaza, which basically means Hamas, and then to their counterparts in the West Bank. I mean, was there some kind of payoff here? Why only 2? I mean, it sounds like there's probably about 20 Americans, and there's other foreign nationals, not to mention the roughly 200 Israelis. But the fact that some of these people now we know are still alive, and I guess there's evidence, or not I guess, we now know there's video evidence that some of these people are still alive in Gaza. It's like, man, if Hamas wants to stop this, what they're saying is this endless onslaught from Israel, first off, they're still firing rockets and they've still got all these hostages. How about you release the rest of the hostages and stop firing rockets? And it's not like the world is going against Israel very quickly. The world loves to do that. That would get them to probably stop. So hopefully this is just the beginning, and then maybe some tensions can be eased. But otherwise, the rockets are still landing on Israel literally as we speak at this very minute, and there still are more Americans hostage. So hopefully our embassy or the administration will say, hey, what just happened here? Did we just pay off to get 2 people back? Are they keeping up their agreement, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, a lot to parse out here in the coming hours. But again, that is, the welcome news there, at least for 2 Americans who are out. We've been seeing so much on the college campuses. There's actually video of teenagers now in San Francisco shouting through their school, Palestine will be free. These are kids, so, it's one thing when you have Harvard, but now it's seeping into the young minds here. And also, Dave, your reaction to this, a UC Davis professor, she's not only upset about Palestine, she's calling for Zionist journalists who spread propaganda, misinformation, to go after them, saying they have addresses, they should fear us, axes and blood emojis. She is actually still employed, Dave. She is exercising her First Amendment. The U.S. Davis Chancellor, Gary May, says, she's, we reject the forms of violence and discrimination, but we strive to foster a climate of equity and justice built on mutual understanding. I just don't, you can't be shocked that kids are doing it when this is at the higher ups at some of these institutions here. Do you think she should be fired?
Right.
Do you think she should still be on the job here?
Well, let's deal with the kids in just a second. First off, she's not only saying basically hunt down these journalists, she literally references their children. What an abject, no daylight here, abject embarrassment by UC Davis. UC Davis, which, by the way, has become radically crazy left. They've been doing this for years. But if the university has now decided that you can literally threaten journalists and their children who have nothing to do with anything that's going on across the world. I mean, in essence, she's talking about Americans. I'm fairly certain that is as close as you can get